Hey, everybody. Good evening. It's Friday night, and you know what that means. Our board will be closing shortly. So we wanted to give you a quick little update on a few different topics, take a couple questions, and then call it a weekend. So I will pass this to Michelle to start.
We only got like 5 people, so you might want to give it a minute.
They could always replay it.
Up to 12 now.
Alrighty. Where would you like me to start?
You could start any way you want to.
All right, we'll do the,
Start.
oh, let me lower my volume. Let's not get any feedback here. All right, a couple of minor hot topics. Then I'll read, Madeline cannot join us tonight, so I have a union of the address letter from her. But I'll start with some hot topics here. Okay, Medicare Part B reimbursement. It should be coming in April, usually third week. And as Marianne said just a few minutes ago when we were discussing it, if you don't get it in electronic deposit in the third week of April, you will get a check in May.
June.
Okay, or June, sorry.
June.
They see, I can't even remember. Okay, so you'll get a check in June. All
It
right,
should
but
be
I
a
know
separate deposit in your bank account. If it's not a separate deposit and you don't get it, you need to, you will get a paper check in June. Yes.
right, and it should be $1,735, I believe. That's what the amount is. That's what last year's amount was. They are, according to OLR or health benefits at OLR.gov, that in 2 years ago, they updated, so everybody should be getting the correct amount. And if not, you fill out your reimbursement form, but they said you shouldn't have to because everybody, they updated and you should be good to go. So shouldn't be any issues with that. The hot topic, okay. Yes, we know they're sending out all these crazy letters, okay? So much for the paper shortage. Yes, they know you opted out, okay? 3, 4, 5, you'll probably get more somewhere down the line. Yes, they're begging you to rescind. Yes, we know.
Yes, don't listen to them. Just keep
Yes,
keep
no.
focused.
Okay, stay focused. All right. If you haven't opted out and you were going to opt out, and then they took away the option to call and opt out, and you're ready, you can do it electronically. It is still open. It's still working. It's on our website. I've been giving it out via email when people ask for it. So it is, that option is still available.
And they're easy to
Okay,
find.
so-
Just go to our website, www.nycretirees.org. And if you get to the website, the navigation bars are to the right, up in the top corner. Just click opt out. And it's super simple, gives you your options. The link directly for the electronic form that Michelle's talking about is right there.
Okay, and again, please don't get discouraged. Your agency code, they said that, they do it for, just to collect the data, okay? Myself, Ralph, Marianne, we don't even have our own agency data code, okay? You get the
It's just for
closest to what it's for tracking, okay? So, like we know the Department of Education has like 15 codes, okay? I don't even have my own code, okay? So again.
Right. Don't worry about it. Just fill it out the best you can. Make sure your social security number is there, your Medicare number, that information. Make sure your email address is correct because you do want to look for your email confirmation. And as Michelle has said in previous videos, make sure you do look in your spam if you don't see it right away. And if you have a Gmail account, it's in your promotions folder. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now those are all my hot little topics that I believe I have. So, all right, this is from Madeline. Okay, so she says she is sorry, okay, that she can't join you tonight, but personal lives sometimes take precedence. So she has not been able to, she has not posted a financial update recently. And again, we haven't, for a number of reasons. So one, we have been focusing on assisting the attorneys first with the hearing on 228 and now the appeal. And we did have a board meeting at the beginning of the month, one of the agenda items was to discuss the financial aspect of this case, and then our meeting was hijacked by the judge's decision, which literally came down as we started our meeting. Needless to say, the agenda quickly went out the window and we did not address those items.
That it did.
Yeah, so back to the personal lives, and like she said, sometimes they take precedence. So now for the update. Okay, since the inception, the total amount contributed has been $698,780.27. The total organization expenses is $5,888.49, and that consisted of the insurance, incorporating fees, the email, which is the MailChimp, and other minor expenses. The total court filing and research fees was $3,702.29. Now for the biggie. Total legal fees, $563,427.75. Now, this amount does not include the February invoice for one attorney firm, and this does not include the fees for March. So the net amount left is $125,761.74. Again, we do not have the February invoice for one of the attorneys yet, or March for either firm. And now we begin the appeal. So what does this tell me? That we have incredible people and organizations who have recognized the severity of this situation, the dire ramifications, and we're willing and able to fight for our rights. Without funding, none of this would be possible, so thank you. For those who have contributed so generously, you are a lifeline to all. For those who contributed what they can, you are just as valued. For those who cannot contribute, we understand. For those who choose not to contribute, I truly hope you will see what we see. The city and the unions are reneging on their responsibility, outright lying, and disregarding promises made to people who sacrificed decades for secure golden years. Don't be content with sitting back and letting them get away with this injustice. We are formidable together and can defeat Goliath. Please continue to urge others to join this fight. We have now entered the appeal battle in this war. The city has deep pockets, except for when it comes to our health care. We have to dig deeper if we plan to continue fighting for what we earned. Thank you for indulging me. I continue to be inspired by your notes and cards. Register for email updates, stay informed, and please be kind to our incredible moderators. My colleagues will now speak for our next call. Again, she's right, okay? You know, we take every donation, okay? Whether it's $5 and up. Don't be ashamed or embarrassed by sending whatever you can. And we also understand if you cannot send, okay? You know, we get monthly donations, but do not apologize if life gets in the way, okay? We get it, okay? So you got the floor, I'm done.
So going forward, it's really important to note, like Michelle said, as she's reading Madeline's statement, is that we've not received one bill from one attorney for February. We've not received any of the bills yet for March, which we will receive sometime in April. And if you can just think for a moment that our legal fees are running about $100,000 a month, ish. It's a good ballpark figure to estimate, in the proximity of about $100,000. We know we'll be spending at least that per plus that per firm going forward with the appeal, because the appeal ends up not just using our two attorneys, but it also brings in appellate attorneys, which is a specialty appellate court going forward. So we will be making sure that we keep letting you know what the fees will be going forward, because they are going to pick up. So we're just letting you know that we still have half month bill to pay for February. We still have two attorneys to pay for March, and as well as whatever appellate attorney assistance that they will be needing to file this for April. The city is trying to, so those who are docket watching, the city did file the appeal just this past week, and we put in our reply to try to convince the panel of judges in the appellate level not to expedite the process as requested by the city. So the city is trying to get a hearing like on April 4th, and this will go before the panel whether or not to expedite it to actually get them to make a decision, meaning our documents would have to be filed within the first 2 weeks of April. I think by April 18th, 20th, should be about April 20th, I believe was the date, and then hopefully get a decision by June or be before the panel by June. We are trying to say, hey, no, let's go after the June term, not within this term, and hopefully the court sides with us. I don't know which way that will go. No one can tell you until we know, the decision comes down. The judges do whatever they want to do, as we've been saying to for like the last 8 months. So keep that in mind going forward. We'll let you know as things develop. So right now, our goal is such as we want you to keep abreast, and we're going to try to do these every Friday before we close the page, even just to touch base, even if there's no information to give you, just to let you know the status of our fundraising. And we're going to start our first fundraiser. I'm sure when Madeline's got time, she'll make another one of those cute little thermometer thingies and put that up. But I believe our next fundraiser goal will be $300,000 going forward to raise money for the appeal, and hopefully carry over to some of the March bills that we're going to have outstanding. So that's our financial update. As Michelle said, we do want to thank you for everything that you've been contributing to so far. The other thing is we did put out a petition and a link to email the city council. If you have personal city council reps, personal city council emails, please email those people. You can copy paste that message that's on our website, but please take the time to do that. It is super important that we start to let them know that we're not happy with this process, we're not happy with what they're doing, and that please ask the mayor to hold the mayor accountable to up to the promises that he made to retirees. And the petition is still up there. It's moving slowly. So please share it widely. It's important that it gets out and that people see it and that they sign it. So please keep posting it, reposting it, share it, not on our page, on yours, and get that information out there. That's all I have. Ralph, do you have anything? You're on mute, hon.
Sorry. When it comes to the donations, guys, when you use PayPal, if you're not paying for the fee on your end, it costs the organization money. Since the inception, we've paid about $14,000 in fees to PayPal for the donations. So there's two things. You could either pick up the fee on your end, or you could also use Zelle. Zelle doesn't cost us as much, and it goes directly to our checking account. So just understand, when you use PayPal, if you don't pick up the fee, the organization has to pick up the fee, and your whole money isn't coming directly to the fund. So we appreciate the donations. We really need to get them stepped up again. We need to get everybody, please start giving on a regular basis again. Like we said, we're looking at $300,000 to continue our fight on the appellate level, and it's going to be a fight. The city is pulling out all of their big guns because it's costing them money every day that this plan doesn't go into effect. We have a good case. Our lawyers are confident. We're confident that we'll hopefully prevail. And I say hopefully because we don't know, things can happen. But so far we're 5-0. Better than the Yankees.
Good.
And also, when it comes to the petition, circulate it to your friends. They don't have to work for the city. They don't even have to be city employees. They just have to support our cause. Support, that we should keep our benefits. So spread the news, spread it around. If you go to a senior center or to Knights of Columbus or VFW, where there might be city employees, spread the word. Also, please sign up for our website emails. We really need to get secondary communication up and going. If something happens to Facebook, we'd be in trouble. And, you know, right now there's a lot going on. People talking about hacking and shutting down sites and stuff like that. God forbid something happens. If Facebook goes down for a day, we have no way to reach a lot of you. So please continue to sign up and spread the word for our website. You know, some people made up little flyers with rip-off tabs to bring to the senior center or to bring to the Knights of Columbus or your local church that gives the website address. Please circulate the information, get it out there. Contact the city council, contact your representatives, even if you don't no longer live in the city. Let them know you want to be heard. You did your deed for the city, you paid your dues, and now you want what's due to you. And we're coming into the weekend. I want to say thank you to the moderators for doing an excellent job as always. They've been helping nonstop, and we're all getting tired. It's been a long battle, and it's going to be a little bit longer, but it's not going to go away. It isn't going to stop.
Yeah. We have Medicare Advantage fatigue, right? So I
Yep.
want to hit a few questions that were coming up on the page. Ellen Reiser, you asked about sending out a survey about doctors in the Medicare Advantage plan that might eventually appeal, can go to the Court of Appeals. We cannot enter any new evidence that's not already in the docket into the Court of Appeals. The Court of Appeals can only look at information or evidence that's already in the current record. So we can't add any more. And that's already a proven statement that there is plenty of doctors that we are already aware. Actually, there's hundreds of affidavits notarized in our current court docket that show that no matter what was on the Find Care tool, that the doctors weren't taking that. Ruth Tolson Borak, all of the lawyers' documents reference about 4 or 6 individuals in addition to this group. Are those individuals being billed separately by the attorneys, or are they contributing to the payments? No, those are representative plaintiffs. This organization represents every retiree. They do not get billed. We are the representative. They are a representative plaintiff from the organization in the early days when we were soliciting for plaintiffs to represent the organization, because you needed specific situations, and they happened to have some very unique situations that were very helpful, and they were selected as representative plaintiffs. But it is the organization that bears the cost, not the retirees, individual retirees. That's why we started doing fundraising. Okay, so it has to be looked as an organization by whole. Why does the city think only 6 people are in the lawsuit, Roberta? So this is like another Harry Nispoli rump organization, rump retirees comment. It's just really to just, you know, just poke a finger at you. The city's just poking you. They're just saying, oh, there's only 6 of them. They represent only 0.0001%. They're just a bunch of nobodies. That's basically what it is. Don't let that insult you, because it didn't insult us. We know that there's over 15,500 people on our page. There's well over 6,000 on our email list. We would like that to increase. But we also have organizations that have partnered with us, like PTPM, like DC 37 Retirees, which has, I think, like 28 or 30, 40,000 retirees. There's the retired firefighters from Staten Island. There's like another 750 retirees. So there's large groups that have partnered with us in this fight. We're not alone. And that's why it's important that get recognized. So our attorneys are working on helping us try to add up all those numbers, because we can count like DC 37 and the retired firefighters as one group or 2 groups, but the number of people that those groups represent is huge, and that adds to our numbers. And this is why we keep saying, in solidarity with these other organizations, we need to stand together. Regarding
The fast track we don't know about.
The what?
And, there's somebody asked about fast tracking. We won't know until the court gives out the order. And then Olivia asked about the copays. We're not even close to the copays yet. We got to deal with the most important thing right now, keeping our senior care benefit. And once we get that squared away.
Well, the
then we'll
copay
go.
issue is going to have to be addressed in the next round. It's still important. understand what Ralph is trying to explain is that the appellate issue, the judge, we're very well aware, didn't answer all of our issues and kind of left things vague in several places. So we're hoping to get an answer. It most likely that answer won't come at the appellate level. The judges in this level will either make a decision or they'll throw it back down to the Supreme Court where that will get answered eventually. So give us some time. We didn't forget
Right.
it.
No, believe me, we didn't forget it. And I
just
type
take
it
time.
1,000 times a day. Believe
Takes
me, we
time.
didn't forget. It just takes time. And again, it didn't fall to the wayside.
They're gonna answer things in order, and the first order is the senior care. And then hopefully we'll get to the next order, which will be the copays.
This one says, let Irma Neshi let folks share when they donate. It actually spurs some of us to donate. Personally, I don't mind reading when others donate. Have a good weekend. Thank you. You're welcome. They usually do, the moderators usually do let you know, oh, I donated $50 today. You know, we'll give you a bunch of likes and then click close comments because we don't really need to add more to that, but most of that does stay. So the next argument you asked her that was Camille.
I think that's it.
No more questions? Come on, people.
Well, and two, you know, there's another thing while we're looking for more questions and we have a few more minutes. Many of you are from all these different unions, right? You're from many different organizations, separate and apart from the ones that we've been speaking with. If you have a union that has a concern, what we're hearing is several unions are not happy with this plan, but yet they kind of felt compelled to support it, or they're fearful about speaking out. Contact us with their contact info and we will discreetly call them. We've also been hearing from other unions where there's some issues with the welfare funds and some conversations were surrounding that. We also know that we've been hearing more and more from different unions that they were all compelled to support this because they were told it mirrors senior care, quote. It mirrors senior care. It's better than senior care. It mirrors senior care and we have all these perks for them. We're not doing anything to harm them. They don't know what they're talking about. But we have to save the stabilization fund, save the stabilization fund. So those were the talking points that most of the unions heard. And yet when they voted on this, like Ralph had said in other meetings earlier on, that when we started doing these videos, they never even saw a contract. They never got to read the details or the nuances. And throughout all of this, this organization spoke to all of you and learned how this, if the city implemented this program, how it would impact you, how it would negatively affect you and your family and your pocketbook, your medical health. We learned how you would not have prescription benefits or inpatient in resident facilities that you have someone that's disabled or cognitively impaired living in that would not pay under MA. So we learned a lot about how this would affect you. Those need to be told. We are still looking for people, if you're interested in doing a video with us, to share how that plan would have affected your family. Please email me or Michelle or the organization, and one of us will get in touch with you and try to schedule that. We have another one scheduled for next week coming, but I would like to try to do some more of those. It's super important that the unions start to learn why this is bad. It's a story that they're not familiar with because they're still telling people that this mirrors senior care and it's wonderful, which we know it's not, but now we need to show them. So please reach out to us. And if you're uncomfortable with doing it by yourself, but maybe you have another friend it would impact, we could do a group video and have a couple of yous together. I mean, whatever it takes, we're willing to do it. Do you see any more?
Nope.
Somebody said something about the MEA. Are we going to speak to the MEA?
They invited me to speak at an event the end of April. Yes. Actually, got that invitation the other day.
Leslie, thank you for your donation. I saw your.
Yes,
little
thank
message.
you. I give a heart emoji.
Oh, that was Roberta. Thank you, Roberta. I was actually surprised because I got another phone call on that and I was like, oh, I didn't see that yet, but I just got the memo on that.
Like,
Well,
like Marion said, that we are learning more and more about the Medicare Advantage plan, even now that we've won this round, and we're reading the contracts again, we're looking at the documents again, and you know, these doctors are going to be forced for a year, and then we don't know what's going to happen in a year. You know, even if the plan moves forward, because the judge said the plan can move forward, but they can't force you into the plan. So, you know, in a year, what happens when all these doctors don't get paid? They could just be dropping out left and right, and then you have no network to go to. So we understand it's a bad plan. That's why we're here fighting to stop this. And it takes time, it takes money, it takes effort. And man, let me tell you, you guys are definitely giving us a lot to work with, a lot of documentation, a lot of information, a lot of your donations. We need it. You got, you know, dig deep again and help us help you.
Yes, as this train moves with you, and we appreciate everything that everyone is doing. We know that we're fatigued by this. It's just a nonstop, daily, whatever. And we know that sometimes you're not always wanting to think about this, and we wish we could do the same thing, quite honestly, but someone's got to be at the wheel. So we understand if you're not wanting to pay attention to it all the time, and then you just pop in on the board and catch up. But stay vigilant with your donations. That's one super thing that's important, because without that, we can't move this. And that is extremely important.
You got two good questions here. One from Robert Gonzalez. Is there any connection between the map and the federal fraud case against the Alliance people?
Say that, where is that question?
Robert Gonzalez.
Roberta.
Roberta Gonzalez. I'm sorry. Roberta.
Oh, is there a
Yeah.
connection? Is there a connection between the new map and the federal fraud case against the Alliance people? Okay, so the fraud case isn't against the Alliance. The fraud case is against Anthem, the parent company. And it had some similarities to it, but it's not our case. There's one in SDNY, which is Southern District of New York, and there is actually another one that's, I believe, in the state of Alabama. We have inquired about offering some information, but yet it has not been moved on. So I'll just leave that there.
And then you have Jeanette.
Why are there 6 names, not the retire? Actually, the 6 names and the retiree group are named plaintiffs. It is these 6 representative plaintiffs and the NYC Organization of Public Service Retirees. That is why the city attacks us in their appeal by saying that we're just 6 retirees and an organization founded to sue the city. Because at the time, remember, when this organization started, we did start as 30-something people that met on a Friday afternoon, and 17 showed up. Well, we invited 35, I think. 17 showed up and only 5 volunteered. So that's how this started, was Friday, August 13th with 5 people. And then we filed our incorporating documents on a Monday. We set up our Facebook page on a Saturday, filed the incorporating documents on the state of New York on a Monday. On Wednesday, we set up a PayPal account, and it just took off like wildfire there. So from August 13th to today, we have over 15,500 people on our Facebook page, over 6,000 people, 7,000 people on our email list, and organizations that have partnered with us, bringing us several thousands of people more. So not everyone is on social media. And you have to find a way to represent people that are not on Facebook. Not everyone is on Facebook. Not everyone has an email address. We have retirees that call us all day long that have our phone numbers because they don't have internet. They don't have an iPhone or a cell phone or an email address. So they call us old school and we give them their updates. That's how that works. So unfortunately, the unions aren't sharing their email list, and neither is the MLC. So we're kind of doing this grassroots style.
You know, help spread the word, because we know that there's still a lot of people out there that have no clue that this even exists, that they're going to lose their health benefits. You know, you have people who might be in their late 70s, early 80s, or even older that, like Michelle, like Marianne said, aren't on Facebook, aren't on social media. Bring your
Right.
iPad over to their house. Bring your cell phone to their house that you can play the video
Right.
for them. Share the information with them. Even if they can't donate, share the information with those people so they can become educated, they can become informed, because we know there's probably close to 30 or 40,000 people that have no clue
What's
that
going
that's
on?
what's
can-
going on. And that's
I
scary.
can verify that because I get emails, because I do the emails, and I can tell you, people tell me even last week that they say they have neighbors or friends that either came upon our page from somebody else and have said that they know others that have no idea that this is happening, and that they have been sharing the information and spreading it out, and and they can't believe it. So yeah, it's still happening after all this time. So spread the word, get it out there, like Ralph said, take your iPad, your iPhone. I know a lot of
And we
people are
have
technically
a
challenged.
we
We
have
get
a
it.
YouTube channel. Feel free to share that with people that can watch and or have time, because some of our videos go for 30 minutes or an hour, especially these updates. At least they'll have something to watch. There's a couple more questions. There's Tony Barlotta Monnier, and she says, I'm worried due to the judge's ruling, the city will only offer a map. Am I worried needlessly? Well, Tony, that's what we've been calling the nuclear option, because one of the things that we heard right after we realized that the city was pissed off that we won, when we heard Claire Levitt was running around the office screaming her head off, and so was Harry Nispoli, and that they were quite angry, and that they were declaring, at least the city was declaring, that they were going to throw the nuclear option and rip out every city health plan that there was and only offer the plan, killing senior care. And that is an option that the city can. We know that when the city started their health plans in 1947, that they started with one plan growing to 3 plans. They had HIP, GHI, and I think it was called Metropolitan, which turned into Blue Cross. And they had 3 plans that the city did pay for. So with that, they always instituted choice, and then choice grew from there into over 13 plans between employees and retirees. Medicare came online in 1966, and then they had carved out the health plans to make a supplemental, GHI supplemental. So there's been changes and transitions and growth, and even in times in history, the HIP plan, GHI plan had actually begged the city to please add more plans to the repertoire of plans, because it helped keep prices under control. Competition was healthy. It helped with care. So these are all things that you wonder, why would the city go back in time and go backwards to a point in time when none of this makes sense? I mean, capitalism, it makes sense to put competition in place to keep rates down and keep advantages or benefits up. But is it an option? Your short answer is yes, it is an option. And it's one thing that we're trying to stop, which is why we put up the petition and we ask you to keep contacting your city council members. If you're not in New York City, do it anyway. We're going to try tweaking some of those email addresses in the city council email so that they go directly to people, because one of the things I found out when I did them today was that you're getting a general email box that returns back asking you to return an email with your address. So if you don't live in the city, they're probably not going to answer you. It's okay, they still got your email, but I'd like to try to get these emails to a specific person. So if you have specific people within the city council offices and you live in the 5 boroughs, please let us know who you communicate with. We will add that email to our email list and update those clickable emails in our website, okay? Karen Stevenson, maybe we can brainstorm fundraising ideas or motivating phrases to bump up donations the way the public radio does. What do you members think? Karen, I task you with that. Please feel free to come up with a wonderful suggestion and pass it along to us, and we will put it in motion, or we will have you help us put it in motion. I love that. Yes, please. I will accept that. The senior care only pays 20% of costs, right? Roberta, yes. Medicare pays your first 80, senior care pays your last 20. When they talk about the HIP HMO cap of $853, is that a monthly rate? Yes. Well, I think that's about it. So we're just about 10 minutes past our time. So I'm going to say we call it a night, is to not go on too long, because that'll be 45 minutes already. Anyone have anything to say in closing?
Guys, have a great weekend.
You guys
Keep the donations
rock.
coming.
Um,
Stay safe. And, you know, please respect the page and the moderators. They're working hard to keep the information
Yes.
moving. And we'll be
Shout
back with you next Friday unless something breakingly urgent occurs.
There you
Right.
go. So we
Shout
will
out to
post
my
this tonight.
moderators.
Yeah, we will post this tonight. This is being recorded. It'll repost on Facebook. I will upload it tonight or tomorrow into YouTube and then send it out in a newsletter tomorrow. So everyone have a wonderful evening, and we will see you next week. Good night.
Peace.